Hello everyone, ready to see what happens next? Let's do it. Chapter 13, Confronting the Prototype. Catnap's POV. I can't believe I'm going to face the prototype. All these years, he's been lying to me. Thanks to Dog Day, I now know the truth. And I won't stand for his lies anymore. No longer am I going to be his puppet. But the prototype is dangerous. He has to be killed quickly. Otherwise, it will be the end for all of us. I look back to the 3 friends that were following me. They all gave me confident nods of approval. How did I get so lucky to suddenly have such good friends? I smiled back. Did they really understand what it meant to face the prototype though? One little mistake or slip up and we will all be dead. They've literally just agreed to throw away their lives to help me. It was such trust and responsibility first on me so suddenly. A feeling that made me nervous. The fate of these people were in my paws because I was bringing them along with me. We continued down the empty factory halls. The signal in my head told me which way I should be going. Led me where the prototype wanted to meet up. It was a ringing in my head that got stronger as we got closer. I knew this place. We were coming toward one of the main generators for the back rooms. A square room with hallways extending off each of its corners. There were plenty of battery sockets and charge parts scattered about to power the generator. Perhaps that was how we could do it? We could charge up a powerful surge and send it directly into the prototype. This could work as long as all the pieces fell into place correctly. The signal was getting strong as we approached the square room. I stopped and turned to my friends. I have an idea on how we might be able to defeat the prototype, I said to them quietly. Great, let's hear it, Dog Day rejoiced. First off, I need you 3 to stay back here until I give a signal. It's best if you hide and then come surprise him at the right time. A surprise will catch him on guard for sure. I'll go out first and talk with him a bit. Keep him distracted. Dog Day and Huggy will come out and help me haul him down when I give the signal. Got it, the 2 of them affirmed. And you, human. Is there something else to call you? This feels weird, not calling you by your name. No, just human or friend is fine, he said tersely. Are you sure? I asked. Huggy made a motion with his hand over his throat, as if to say not to pursue that path. Yes, I'm sure. What is it that you need me to do? Well, you have a big responsibility. I'm trusting you to use the batteries scattered around the place to charge up the generator. And when it's done, use your grab pack to absorb that charge and then fire it at the prototype. It should be enough charge to at least incapacitate him, if not kill him. Do you think you can handle it? I'll do my best, Catnap. After all, I'm a battery expert by now. He winked and gave me a thumbs up. All right then. I took a deep breath and turned around. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it, I thought. We're all right here for you, Catnap. If you need help, just holler, Dogday assured me. Thank you again, I nodded before slowly crawling into the room. It was so quiet. There were remnant particles of all bouts of red smoke floating in the area. It had all been moved, likely due to Huggy and his human friend. I looked down each of the hallways. Which one would the prototype come from? Depending on which one he came down, it could change the plan a little bit. My paws shook under me. Was I really ready to do this? I had to be. I had made the choice to do it. Where was he? The signal in my head said he was basically next to me. Why couldn't I hear his footsteps anywhere? And then a creaking noise came from above me. There was a hatch on the ceiling. It opened up and poured a bright light down on me. From within that intense yellow light, I saw 2 red dots, the prototype's eyes. I went to look away as they flashed white for a second. My ears twitched as I heard Dogday gasp from their hiding spot. Hopefully that wasn't loud enough for the prototype to hear. Yeah! I exclaimed as some of the light still pierced into my soul. My eyes rapidly blinked, trying to adjust my vision. It was trying to pull me back into that obedient state. Thankfully, I had looked away, so I did not get a full blast. Instead of making my mind go blank, it triggered a multitude of images to come rushing to me. They were memories from when I was under his influence. All of those times I suspected I was harming the smiling critters were just confirmed to me. How I incapacitated them with my resmo, chased them down many times, and then something even worse. The memories forced me to relive the moments I tossed my friends to their deaths. For example, when I tossed Crafty Corn to the plushies after ripping her arm off, how I plucked Kicking Chicken's feathers and then held down Dog Day as the prototype brutally ripped Bobby Bear Hug apart. I was afraid I was going to cry from these memories. The one that really tried my will was just from earlier today, when I pounded my claws into Dog Day and saw the pain written on his face. I took a big gulp and ultimately turned my head back to the prototype. Catnap, I've been waiting for you, he drew out with his mechanical tone. That skinny, metallic hand reached down toward me. I wanted to jump back, arch my back, hiss, and spit at it. But I knew I couldn't react like that. He needed to believe that I was still faithful to him for now. I have a new task for you. Those sharp fingers came dangerously close to my chin. They gently grabbed it and made me look straight up at the hybrid. All I could really see was his small red eyes. The bright yellow light drowned out the rest of him from view. I need you to bring me Dog Day now. His presence is required for my next experiment. But sir, he's all the way in play care. Do you really need him right now? I asked, playing the card that the puppy was still strung up in the playhouse. Yes, right now, my kitten. It shouldn't take long. Just turn around and drag him over from that corner. The prototype had foiled my plan. There was no way we could surprise him now. I don't know what you mean, I said, still trying to play dumb. But the mechanical menace was too smart for that. Oh, don't play me like that. I know that you want revenge on me now that you remember everything. His metallic hand grabbed me by the throat and started to lift me off the ground. Talking was difficult with the hold there, but he had not tried to suffocate me yet. I pawed at the grip, but the mesh of metal and bone did not budge. But how? How did I know about your so-called friends and change of heart? I could sense it in your brainwaves. After all, a piece of me, it's always with you. The prototype chuckled, knowing that he had the upper hand. He dropped me back to the ground. My skinny body collapsed on his side and shook. What were we going to do now? Without the element of surprise, we didn't stand a chance against him. So, traitor, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way being you drag your 3 friends over here and I deal with each one of them accordingly. The 2 traitors will have the harshest of punishments, of course. He explained, I'm the only traitor here. If anyone gets that punishment, it should be me. I argued with him. The hybrid merely laughed at me again. Oh, sweet catnap, if only that were true. You see, Huggy over there used to work for me too. He obeyed my call for some time. Unfortunately, he was one of the first to resist my will. All thanks to Poppy and her kindness conditioning methods. Now, bring them to me and we can be friends, just like I promised. Theodore. His hand turned open for me to accept his offer. No, I hissed and swatted it away. Thanks to you, I remember more than just my life as a bigger body's project. I pushed my body to sit up and look back at him. We were never friends. It was always your fault. Back when I was Theodore, you had convinced me to use the grab pack to help you escape containment. You had rigged that power box to go off on me, damaging Theodore's body beyond repair. But your plan ended up backfiring on you too. Instead of opening your containment, it spread to your cage and infected you too. Yes, it had damaged my neural circuits. Thankfully, those scientists fixed me up. not knowing their error at the time. The prototype admitted. Now, which is it that you choose? I won't just hand them over to you, I said confidently. Not now, not ever. How unfortunate, the prototype groaned. I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, Catnap, but you have forced my hand. An audible whistling sound came from the hybrid. The thump of large paws came from the two hallways I was facing. Meet my new creations, bigger and better than you in every way. I call them bone naps. All of your strengths and none of your weaknesses. The two bony cats emerged from the dark hallways, poking their elongated heads out. Small puffs of red smoke emanated from their mouths. I tensed and got up on my paws. They will now be in charge of your punishment. Unlike me, they don't know what mercy is. Have fun with them, Catnap. He chuckled as he retreated back into the hatch and closed the door. Great, there goes my chance to kill the prototype without much trouble. Those bone naps still lumbered forward. They were definitely looking for a fight. I crouched down like I was going to pounce at them. They were going to have to go through me if they wanted Dog Day and the others. And then my friends appeared at my side. Dog Day came up on my left and Huggy and his human on the right. What are you doing? Get out of here while you still can. I'll hold them off for as long as I can, I hissed at them. No way, Catnap. We're sticking with you until the end, the orange dog assured me. I then looked to my right. Those two gave me a nod of agreement as well. You guys, I gasped under dedication. But then I pulled myself together. New plan. Dog Day and I will take the one on the left. That leaves Huggy and the human to fight the other one. Human, do you think you can still charge up that generator? It might be useful to have in case of emergency. You got it, Catnap, he replied. All right, everyone, give it your all. We all gave battle cries as we rushed our targets. Chapter 14, The Big Battle, Part 1. Catnap's POV. Dog Day and I tackled the bone nap in front of us. We tumbled along the ground with it and then ended up shoving our adversary against the wall. Those small pupils disappeared from the eye sockets for a moment. That meant it was closing its eyes from the impact. Once they came back, a gurgle sounded in its throat. Look out! I yelled at Dog Day. Thankfully, we both jumped back at my warning. Those bony claws tried to swipe at us. We had reacted at the correct time and avoided the attack. The bone nap stood up and turned to me. It was still making that gurgling sound. I arched my back, folded my ears back, and hissed at him. But it was not intimidating the creature in any way. Stay away from him, Dog Day yipped and jumped forward. His paw swatted the bone cat's head. It stumbled a bit but stayed standing. My friend followed up and bit down on the bone knap's neck. It shrieked in surprise. I noticed its tail wiped around and raised up. It was going to come down on the puppy. I had to act fast. Let go, Dog Day, I called to him. Using my own long tail, I reached out and grabbed the creature's tail. Dog Day screeched and stumbled back as he realized the weapon was coming for him. I was able to yank it to a stop, but the creature was powerful. I wouldn't be able to hold it for too long. Our enemy turned back to me and cuffed my head. It was a powerful swat that sent me spiraling away and bouncing off the wall. I grunted as I collided with the structure. The impact had stunned me for a few seconds, just long enough for the bone knap to rush over and attempt to bring its claws down on me. I was able to reach up and catch the large furless paws. They still attempted to come down on me, but I slowed their descent. My arms were shaking trying to keep the bony claws away. It breathed a cloud of red smoke on me. The creature snarled in frustration when it realized that the gas was not doing anything. Ha! Red smoke doesn't work on me. I'm the original and you're just a phony. I kicked the creature off me. Dog Day was waiting and he landed a 2-paw kick on it too. The bone knap collapsed to the ground. Me and the puppy rushed the downed creature. It acted quick and put its paws underneath it. The bone cat jumped high and landed on a ledge above us. It flicked its tail in satisfaction. I growled, knowing that it was taunting us. My body got ready to jump and follow it up there. Catnap, don't! Dog Day called to me as my muscles tensed. Instead of letting the rage take me, I listened to my friend. I relaxed my muscles and looked to him. It wants you to follow. That way we can be separated and can take us down easier. That bone knap knows that I can jump up there like you do. That bone knap knows that I can jump up there like you do. Good thinking, Dog Day. This is exactly why you're the leader of the smiling critters. The orange dog seemed to get a little emotional over this comment, almost as if he wanted to say, used to be the leader. And whose fault was that? Mine, not Dog Day's. I looked at the bone cat and called out to it. We're not falling for your trick. You're going to have to come back down here if you want us. The bone knap's pupils narrowed as it hissed at us. It turned around and swung its long tail down toward us. Look out! Dog Day pushed me out of the way. He then jumped to the side too. The puppy watched as the tail swept in front of him. He lunged forward and bit down on the skinny appendage. The bone knap growled and lashed its tail back and forth. It then gave a powerful flick that sent Dog Day flying across the room. The orange dog whimpered as he crashed into the wall. He collapsed to the floor and visibly shook from the pain. The bone knap crawled down the wall and made a beeline for my friend. Oh, no, you don't! I yelled and rushed the creature. My body tackled it, sending the bonny cat to the ground. Standing on top of it, my feline instincts told me to tear at its stomach with my claws. It gurgled, but the attacks did not seem to affect it very much. The bone nap gagged me as it wrapped its claws around my neck. It tossed me to the ground and then stood over me. I attempted to squirm away, but that long mouth came down around my torso. My screams rang through the connecting hallways. No doubt the prototype could hear that from wherever he was now. The bony cat tightened his grip around the same spot where Huggy had attacked me earlier. My body thrashed about, trying to get away from the pain giver. But it was all in vain. These creatures had a clear advantage over us. We couldn't make a mark on their bony structure. "Let him go!" They cried and rushed to my aid. He was able to push the bone nap off me for a moment. "Are you alright, Catnap? Let me help you out," the puppy offered, and helped lift my upper body off the ground. I groaned in pain from the movement. "Dog Day, you have to run! Get out of here!" I croaked out, for I had realized that Dog Day was in a lot of danger with this seemingly impenetrable creatures attacking. "No way! I said I'm staying with you to the end, and I meant it," he argued with me. Just as I was about to say something back, the bone nap pounced at us. It snarled and pinned us down with its enlarged paws. We both struggled uncomfortably under the bony claws. I soon realized that if I struggled too much, those claws would poke at me. The bone nap's big eye sockets looked to each of us, as if it were trying to decide whom it wanted to kill first. Chapter 15. The Big Battle, Part 2. Huggy's POV. My friend and I tensed as the bone nap stalked towards us. It crouched and tried to pounce on us. The human yelped in fear as we dove in separate directions. The creature turned toward him and began to advance. Acting quick, I stood up and grabbed its tail. This yanked it to a stop, for now. "Use that battery over there to start charging the outlet," I called to him. There was one of those square battery packs lying in the corner of the room. My friend took a glance over to the battery and then back to me. "I'll keep this cat busy for a bit." The bone cat kept tugging against my grip. The human nodded. "I'll be right back to help you, Huggy," he reassured me. Once my friend was out of range, the bone nap wiped around and swiped its claws at me. I managed to let go and fall back at the right time to avoid the sharp weapons. The creature then jumped and stood over me. A bony paw gave me a powerful cuff to the head. It followed up with the other paw, trying to disorient me. I got one of those paws in my teeth. The bone nap shrieked in surprise, but did not seem hurt. The cat looked like I was thinking about how I wanted to toy with me next. The cat looked like it was thinking about how it wanted to toy with me next. My friend fired his flare gun upgrade at the feline. The fiery projectile ended up bouncing between the creature's eyes and scared it off me. I took this opportunity to scramble away from the dangerous cat. We watched as it pawed at his face, making sure the flare was gone. The feline then turned back to us. My friend noticed some pipes along the wall. He reached with his grab bag and pulled one away from the wall. The pipe spilled steam in the bone knap's face. The creature backed away, shrieking in confusion. I rushed forward and pushed it into the wall, letting the feline collapse to the ground. My body proceeded to run away and get out of reach of those claws. Just as I was running away, something small and skinny wrapped around my throat and gagged me. I reached up to try and pry it off. When I didn't feel any fingers, I figured it must be the tail. It tugged down, bringing me to my knees, and then, ultimately, my side. "Let go of him," I heard the human say. His figure ran closer and lodged the grab-packed hands at the bone knap's face. It didn't seem to do much. That was until one of those hands whacked the eye socket. The creature hissed and pawed at its face again. I felt the tail come away from my neck as I gasped for breath. The appendage then lashed at the human. It wiped at his legs as he began to turn and run. This sent him spiraling across the room. The bone knap growled in delight and went for him. Its oversized paw stepped on my bandaged torso as it passed by. "Oof!" I squealed as my wound got aggravated yet again. My body rifted a bit as the taste of blood traveled up my throat. I swallowed it down and rolled over to try and get up. When I had made it to my feet, I realized my friend had the bone knap trapped between a gated door and the wall. The feline's legs flared about as the door had wedged itself against his neck and pinned it against the wall. Good thinking, friend, but it wasn't trapped for long. The elongated fingers got hold of the door and shoved it off. I rushed over, knowing my friend would be in trouble. I got over there to find that my friend was indeed cornered by the oversized cat. My body reacted and lashed itself to the bone knap. It shrieked as my arms wrapped around it, and my fangs bit down on the torso. "Thanks for the distraction, Huggy. I've got the second battery," I heard the man say, and snuck past the feline. This left me to keep the creature distracted while he put in the second battery. This would be a powerful charge when it was done, considering there were still 2 more sockets to batteries to go in after the second one. I kept trying to adjust the grip with my fangs, but no matter what angle I tried, I couldn't make a mark on our adversary. The bone knap thrashed around, trying to get me off. I kept my arms wrapped tight. Better to be over here than in front of those claws, I thought. My teeth started to hurt. Blood seemed to well up in my gums. This meant if I tried to bite down harder, I would only end up breaking my own teeth. The creature thrashed around enough that I let go with my fangs and focused on holding on with my arms. The feline had adjusted me so that my arms were wrapped around just below its neck. "Huggy, let go!" came the man's voice. Before I could contemplate on whether I should let go, I felt my body get slammed into the wall. I definitely wanted to let go now. My grip weakened it from the impact. The bone knap reached down and bit my arm. It made sure I couldn't get away now. The creature proceeded to run and slam me into a different wall. My body started to go limp. That was when the bony cat slung me around and onto the ground. I only had a second to arrive on the ground before the enemy attacked again. Its wide mouth came down over my shoulder. The bone nap squeeze was intense. It lifted my upper body and slammed it into the ground multiple times. If it kept slamming me like that, I was going to black out for sure. "Hey, over here, juicy human ready to be eaten," my friend taunted and waved his arms around. A gurgle rose in the feline's throat before it ultimately let go of me, for it had a new toy it wanted to play with now. As soon as the creature was clear of my body, I tried to get up. It wasn't easy. My body was starting to slow down, but we still had to ward off this thing until the power outlet was completely charged. The bony cat reared up in front of the human and raised his claws. Once I was up, I approached the cat from behind. My arms locked around his shoulder bones to prevent it from swinging the claws. "Shoot into the mouth," I told my friend. He nodded and promptly aimed for the big target. The flare projectile bounced into that black void with no problem. The bone nap thrashed about wildly, almost dislodging my grip. It even yelled like it was actually feeling pain. Once I had a good grip on the feline, I told my friend to shoot again. The creature must have understood what I said, because it gurgled and proceeded to attack me. That skinny tail reached up and lashed my back like a bunny whip. I winced in pain. A second lash came that made me let go of our adversary. The bone nap ducked down, leaving the flare to bounce off my furry chest. A patch of fur got sagged as I cried out in pain. My yellow hands furiously smacked at the affected area to douse any live flames. The feline swept his tail and knocked my legs out from under me. I collapsed to the ground yet again. "Huggy, I'm so sorry," my friend called. The bone nap began to turn on him. My hand lashed out and grabbed his tail again. "It's okay. Just focus on getting those other batteries," I told him as the bony cat turned on me. "But," he began to argue. "Just go," I said as those claws tried to come down on me. My skinny limbs shook as I attempted to keep those weapons at bay. A quick shift of my gaze confirmed to me that my friend had listened. The bone nap pulled his claws away and proceeded to cuff my head again. I smelled some red smoke seep out of his mouth as he kept smacking me around. That mouth came down around my shoulder again and proceeded to toss me along the ground. My fur got pushed in the wrong direction, and the bandages felt like that had been loosened. The bone nap gave a snort and walked off. I guess he didn't think I was a threat anymore. My body didn't want to move. I knew I had to get up and protect my friend, but some invisible force kept me from following. Instead, I actually wanted to fall asleep. Some of that red smoke must have gotten into my system. I tried to fight the urge to sleep. It was too powerful and pulled me in. I looked about as I found myself still in our battlefield. It was all quiet. No sounds of any struggle between us and the bone naps. Catnap, Dog Day, and the human were nowhere to be seen. Red smoke filled the connecting hallways. It seemed to slowly snake its way toward me, as if it were alive. Was this all real, or was this a dream? It seemed real, but I could never be too sure when red smoke was involved. I tried calling out to see if anyone was there. A figure began to emerge from the red smoke. It was my friend. A feeling of dread came over me when I saw the state of him. His body was bloodied. There was a burn mark on his face, and one of his legs was broken and twisted badly. He dragged himself over with his arms and one good leg. "Huggy," the man cried out. "Please, help me." A wet cough came from him. Instinctively, I went to get up and help him. I had only made it to my hands and knees when something pushed me back down. My black eyes looked over my shoulder to find a bone nap holding me down. I struggled against it to no avail. Horror filled my heart as the other bone nap lumbered in the smoke behind the human. "Look out!" I tried to warn him. He looked behind. His eyes widened as the claws came from him. A bony finger punctured into his broken leg. My friend screamed in agony as the skeletal cat proceeded to pull him back into the smoke. There was now another figure just behind the bone nap. His hulking figure told me it was the prototype. I watched as the feline handed the man over to him. Various tools and appendages sprouted from the prototype. They all stabbed into the human's body. His screams died out as his body went limp. "No! Leave him alone! It's me you want!" I tried to barge in with the prototype. A single pipe-like appendage extended my friend's body out toward me. "Come join us, Huggy," the human said with a creepy voice. There was a metallic undertone laced into it. The prototype gave him a life as his puppet, now fused with his body. "No, never!" I shook my head. "Oh, but you will come back to us, Huggy. You can't resist his will. The prototype's rule is absolute. Perhaps you need a little wake-up call." His green grab-bag hand started to spark with electricity. "Wait, no, please don't do this," I pleaded with the puppet. The sturdy hand ejected out and aimed for my head. "No, no!" I jolted awake as that fake hand came at my face. A shriek emitted from my throat as my body flinched. The movement seemed to aggravate my wounds. Sounds of the struggle were now present. Thankfully, that was all a dream, but that also meant that the ending for our fight was still up for debate. I could only hope it would end better than that dream sequence. But what were our chances? We can't even make a mark on these bone naps. That electrical charge is our only hope of shutting them down. I had to go help the human, or he would never have the chance to keep the effort going. I put my hands under me and attempted to lift my upper body. It was a slow process, but I finally found the strength to support my weight on my hands and knees. My body was screaming at me. Pain was all over. The bandages felt like they were threatening to slip away. I struggled to get up into my legs. Once I was there, I stumbled forward. My balance and coordination was off, so I swayed from side to side. A hand went to my bandages. They were still holding up. For now. Rounding the corner, I found a human struggling to stay away from the bow-now. It kept swatting him around like a toy. His battered body barely avoided the swipe of the glass when he noticed me standing at the opposite of the room. At the opposite end of the room. "Huggy, put the last battery in the outlet," he croaked out and then coughed. "Here, catch!" The man used the grab pack to launch the cube-shaped battery toward me. I got it and turned around to place it in its holder. My body had to stop short as Catnap ran by, charging the other bow now. I wasted no time in slapping the last piece in. Only maybe a minute more until it would be fully charged. I didn't know if either my friend or I could survive the bunny cap for another minute. A minute was so long when you were expending your energy to fight back against an opponent, especially one that didn't seem to hurt easily. I gasped when I saw the bone nap scoop my friend up in its paw. The creature proceeded to open its mouth wide. He held the man above his face and prepared to drop the man down his gullet. "No!" I cried. My body pushed itself forward faster than I thought I could go at the moment. I used all 4 of my limbs to power forward. The bone nap began to loosen its grip, but it seemed to be happening very slowly. I tackled the bony feline before the human even existed its paw. My fangs wrapped around its neck. Why was I biting it? The sturdy bones had made my teeth hurt before. It just felt right to be driving my fangs in its throat. My grip tightened and tightened. The bone nap below me thrashed about, but did not deter me. My friend rubbed his head and recovered from the fall. He gasped and came near. "What are you doing? Don't come close. This thing is unpredictable." "Huggy, calm down," he called to me. "Come on, buddy. You're not like them. You're better than that." His hand started to reach for my head. I instinctively growled at the approaching hand. He flinched and backed off for a second. The man took a deep breath and attempted to reach for me again. I tasted blood now. It dripped onto the bones under my fangs. "I wouldn't hurt you, Huggy. I trust you." His hand gently placed itself on my forehead. The warm touch seemed to wake me up from my trance. I slowly eased up on my grip and pulled away from the bone now. It was only now that I realized the blood had come from me. My gums were definitely bleeding now. "I did it again, didn't I?" I asked him. "You did," he admitted, "but not for long. You're learning to control that urge quickly. I'm proud of you, Huggy." Our moment was interrupted as the bone nap got its bearings and lashed out at me. It still reached up and wrapped around my throat. The creature tossed me out. I could only watch as it followed me. My body was freezing up and I couldn't fight back at the moment. Those claws aimed for my torso. The points poked into my bandages. Blood began soaking the white cloth as the bone nap slung me to the ground. My body went limp as I collapsed to the ground. I wasn't unconscious, but I definitely couldn't move either. In a sense, I kind of wish I was knocked out. That would at least spare me from all the painful wounds I felt. "Huggy!" The man rushed to me. "Come on, you gotta get up." He tried to lift my head. I merely moaned from the dull pain ringing my head. The bone nap rushed us, preparing its large paws I squeezed my eyes shut and my friend screeched in fear. Well guys, this is all for today. If you enjoyed it and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone.